Well, hi everybody, this is Randy, and we are going to take a look at a little script that I put together this morning. The idea for this came up from a batch file in Windows and DOS that I put together about 10 years ago for my employer. The situation there was we had a order entry system, but we needed to count the various orders that came in and the statuses, and there were about over 10,000 of those a day, so it was very arduous and also not very accurate to go through and count those by hand, which is what the provisioning department was doing for their reports. So what I ended up doing is hacking together a little batch file that went in and counted the unique characters for each of those orders in this big XML file, and it also tallied up the different order statuses, which had unique identifiers as well. And that just took seconds rather than hours, and it saved a whole lot of time. And I got to thinking, what if I could put together a similar script in Linux for the shell there? So what I did this morning was put this little idea together, and it's a little bit simpler than the one I did for that employer, but it does go through any text file and counts the instances of a particular text string. Now you could add on to this and make it where it looks for different statuses and so forth. I don't have a file like that to work with, so I just put together this simple idea, and we'll go over that now and we'll show you how that works. So let's open up a terminal here, and I'm going to show you what I actually let's do a push D over to the documents directory. So, or it's not, let's do downloads. That's where that file is. Okay. So now, in the downloads directory, I've got a file in here that I downloaded from the internet. We'll take a look at that. And it's called sample1.txt. And what it is just a bunch of filler text in Latin. You can see here that it, nothing we could really read. But I do know that I saw the word elementum in here. So we will use that as our search string. So with that going there, let's get out of that. And this little script I put together is called cntstr. I can type cntstr.sh for a count string shell script. So that's the name I used, cntstr.sh. So let's go ahead and run that quickly. And it says this program will allow you to count the number of times that a particular string occurs within a file. So we're going to enter a text string that you might want to count how many times it shows up. So let's use that elementum as the string we're searching for. And the file name we're going to be searching on is that sample1.txt. Now it asks us, do we want to exactly match the text case or not? And that's like uppercase, lowercase, title case, mixed case, whatever it is. If we want to see any incidence of those letters that I'm looking for, no matter how the capitalization is, we'll say, no, we don't want to exactly match. If we do want to see an exact match, we can type yes or Y. And if we want to see both, we can do the B or both. So I'm going to go ahead and look at both of them. You see just how quick this thing counts them. There it is. We've got 2,158 exact matches with text and case. And any incidence of elementum in that document, there are 2,486 of those. So I suspect the difference is probably that word starting a sentence. So that's how quickly and how easy that works. Okay, let's go ahead now and look at the code on this script and see how the thing actually works. And bear in mind, I'm still teaching myself all this stuff, so I'm not by any means an expert on coding and writing bash scripts, but I'm learning, and you may see something on here that you would do differently or do more efficiently. And feel free to let me know about that, and you can change this up if you find it useful. You can use it as is or use it and make modifications to it. So let's just take a look at it though. So the code will go the less command, and then that will display the the text of this file, and then we'll go in here and say cntstr.sh, which is the script file itself. And now we can go through and look at the code here. So it starts out at the top with a showing it's a shebang up here at the top. Bin bash is the shell we're using, and it says the name of the file, tells what it does. I put a copyright on this with the GPL version 2.0. Means you can take it, you can modify it, redistribute it, use it, throw it away, whatever. Has no warranty whatsoever though, so that's a important thing to remember. Your mileage may vary. And then we get into the actual code itself. So it clears the screen, and then it says that things we saw on the screen, the stack going this to the display. The program allows you to count the number of times a string occurs within a file. And then it asks the user for input. So it reads that into variables. So the first one it asks for is the text string you want to count, and that goes into a variable called string. Then it asks the file name you want to search through. That one is file name. That's a variable that stores that in. So whatever file name they type in goes there. And then it prompts them to ask, do they want to exactly match the upper or lower case of the text? And then they get a choice of yes, no, or both, and that's stored into a variable called input. And so then this is just kind of a description of what's going on. One of the future improvements I want to make to this, though, is that if the user puts in something that is not yes, no, or both, then right now what it does is kicks them out to a prompt on the command line. I'd like to maybe clean this up so that it goes back and gives them another chance to enter in a correct response to any of those questions that they were prompted for. And now while all that's going on, we have the counts starting right here. So I have two variable names, one count exact and one count any. And count exact goes through the file with the grep command and does not ignore the case of the text, and looks for the string in the file name and does our word count. The count any does the same thing, except it will not exclude the no ignore case. So any occurrence of the string will be counted. Then we go down here to different cases. We have a case loop here, which case choice. So it starts out with case and ends down here with ESAC, which secret here, case spelled backwards, but that's what defines this whole routine here. And this does several things. It takes the input, and if it is a Y in either lower or uppercase, or if it is the word yes in any combination of upper and lower case, then it will echo back occurrences of your search string, what the exact text case is, and then it displays that count exact variable there. Now if we look at the next one, almost the same kind of thing. If they said no, then it will show them the occurrences of the search string with any text case, and that is stored in our count any, so that gets displayed. And then finally, if they want both, which they can write out both in any case, or they can write B, and then it displays both of them, count exact and count any. And then at the end of it here, we have if the response is invalid, it says invalid response, please try again, then it kicks them out. So that's the part I want to improve upon in the next release of this. And so finally, then we've got a blank echo line, and it exits. So that's the whole thing right there. And most of it looks like it's comments, or at least half of the script is comments, so that I know what I did, and people that use it know what they have here and what it does. And so that's really it. It's that simple. And played around with it a little bit this morning and hacked this together. And I hope you found this interesting. Hope you found it useful. If you have any comments, suggestions, or you'd like a copy of the script at all, just let me know. And until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.